The poetry of Charlotte Smith. Charlotte Turner Smith was born on the 4th of May 1749 in London. Her early years were dominated by her mother's early death and her father's reckless spending. At age 15 she married Benjamin Smith in order to rid her father of his gambling debts. Charlotte was later to write that she now became a legal prostitute. Benjamin was violent, unfaithful, more reckless with money than her father, and completely unsupportive with her writing that she had begun to spend more time on. In 1766, Charlotte and Benjamin had the first of their 12 children. She helped with her father-in-law's business, and upon his death he left much to Charlotte and her children, but this inheritance was tied up in legal wranglings that lasted for 40 years and became the inspiration for Dickens' central case in Bleak House. Her husband's spending landed him in prison, and as was allowed at the time, Charlotte moved in to join him. It was here in 1784 that she wrote and published her first work, Elegiac Sonnets. It was an instant success, allowing Charlotte to pay for their release from prison and contributing to a revival of the sonnet. Charlotte moved to Chichester, where she began to write novels, believing she could earn more from their sale, and rather unusually publishing all her work under her own name. Her first novel, Emmeline, in 1788, was a success, and in the next decade she wrote 9 more. However, despite their initial success, her finances were a constant source of concern, and she was often in debt, being forced to move home frequently, and impacting on declining health. By 1803, Smith was again poverty-stricken, with severe gout, which made writing painful and later almost paralysed her. On 23rd of February 1806, Charlotte finally received some of the inheritance, but was too ill to do anything with it, and died on the 28th of October 1806. William Wordsworth described her as a poet to whom English verse is under greater obligations than are likely to be either acknowledged or remembered. Sonnet 4, To the Moon, by Charlotte Smith. Queen of the silver bow, by thy pale beam alone and pensive I delight to stray, and watch thy shadow trembling in the stream, or mark the floating clouds that cross thy way. And while I gaze, thy mild and placid light sheds a soft calm upon my troubled breast. And oft I think, fair planet of the night, that in thy orb the wretched may have rest. The sufferers of the earth perhaps may go, released by death, to thy benignant sphere. And the sad children of despair and woe forget in thee their cup of sorrow here. Oh, that I soon may reach thy world serene, poor wearied pilgrim in this toiling scene. Sonnet 11, To Sleep, by Charlotte Smith. Come, balmy sleep, tired nature's soft resort, on these sad temples all thy poppies shed, and bid gay dreams from Morpheus's airy court float in light vision round my aching head, secure of all thy blessings' partial power. On his hard bed the peasant throws him down, and the poor sea-boy in the rudest hour enjoys thee more than he who wears a crown. Clasped in her faithful shepherd's guardian arms, well may the village girl sweet slumbers prove, and they, O gentle sleep, still taste thy charms, who wake to labour, liberty, and love. But still thy opiate aid dost thou deny to calm the anxious breast, to close the streaming eye. Love and Folly, by Charlotte Smith. Love, who now deals to human hearts such ill thrown yet resistless darts that hapless mortals can't withstand them, was once less cruel and perverse nor did he then his shafts disperse so much at random. It happened that the thoughtless child was rambling through a flowery wild, like idle lad in school vacation, where sauntering now and now at rest, strolled Folly, who to Love addressed his conversation. On trifles he had much to say, then laughing he proposed to play, and stake against Love's bow his bauble. The quivered gamester smiled and won, but testy Folly soon began to fret and squabble. Loud and more loud the quarrel grows, from words the wranglers went to blows, for Folly's rage is prompt to rise, till bleeding Love a martyr stood, a stroke from Folly's weapon rude put out his eyes. Then wild with anguish Venus prayed for vengeance on the idiot's head, and begged of cloud-compelling Jove his swiftest lightning to destroy the mischievous malignant boy that blinded Love. Folly is immortal, Jove replied, but though your prayer must be denied, an endless penance is decreed him. For Love, though blind, will reign around the world, but still wherever found, Folly shall lead him. Sonnet 44, Pressed by the Moon by Charlotte Smith. Pressed by the moon, mute arbitress of tides, while the loud equinox its power combines, the sea no more its swelling surge confines, but o'er the shrinking land sublimely rides. The wild blast, rising from the western cave, drives the huge billows from their heaving bed, tears from their grassy tombs the village dead, and breaks the silent Sabbath of the grave. With shells and seaweed mingled on the shore, lo, their bones whiten in the frequent wave. But vain to them the winds and waters rave, they hear the warring elements no more, while I am doomed, by life's long storm oppressed, to gaze with envy on their gloomy rest. Sonnet 83, The Sea View by Charlotte Smith. The upland shepherd, as reclined he lies on the soft turf that clothes the mountain brow, marks the bright sea line mingling with the skies, or from his course celestial sinking slow, the summer sun in purple radiance low, blaze on the western waters. The wide scene, magnificent and tranquil, seems to spread even o'er the rustic's breast a joy serene, when like dark plague spots by the demons shed, charged deep with death upon the waves far seen, move the far-freighted ships, and fierce and red flash their destructive fires. The mangled dead and dying victims then pollute the flood. Ah, thus man spoils heaven's glorious works with blood.